weather impact alert, because you're going to be impacted. We're all going to be impacted by bitterly cold Arctic air. Later on tonight, through the evening, overnight tonight, and early tomorrow morning, bitter cold wind chills of 0 or to 10 above 0 are expected here in our part of the Piedmont. You got to get prepared for this. We don't have this kind of cold weather very often. You're going to want to limit your time outdoors and dress warmly. Dress in layers. And you're going to really need to layer it up tomorrow morning, because with single-digit wind chills on Monday morning, our morning low temperatures will drop into the low and mid-teens across the area. Now, the Arctic cold front looks to be moving through the foothills and moving into the Triad over the next hour or so, and the coldest air will really start to pour in this afternoon and overnight tonight. Now, there was a lot of lift in the atmosphere out ahead of the front, so we did see some showers, especially south and east of Greensboro. Of course, those have moved on out. Many of us are seeing a mostly sunny to partly sunny sky as that rain continues to move on down into eastern North Carolina. Been keeping a close eye on the temperatures. Earlier this morning, we were in the lower 40s, around 42, 43, 44. We have dropped into the upper 30s now, but call your attention to the mountains where, look at the temperature at Jefferson, 20 degrees. It's 23 degrees at Boone. And with the cold front having moved through Wilkesboro and Wilkes County down to 34 earlier this morning, Wilkesboro was well into the 40s. So this cold Arctic air, kind of heavy and dense, it weighs a lot. Warm air lifts, cold air sinks. And that's the reason we can have some of the coldest temperatures in the mountain valleys, is that cold air sinks. Well, it's going to rise up over the higher terrain of the Blue Ridge and work into the foothills, which it's doing now, and eventually working into the Triad. So as we go through the afternoon hours, we're really going to start to see the temperatures drop. And some of our forecast models predict that by as early as 5 p.m., temperatures are going to be in the mid and upper 20s, and wind chills are going to be down in the teens. Of course, this cold Arctic air is coming from the Arctic. Look at these current temperatures out over the Tennessee and Ohio Valley. Cincinnati, the temperature at 4, 9 in St. Louis, Lexington, Kentucky at 7, 14 in Charleston, West Virginia. Nashville is at 19. Now, earlier this morning, when we came on the air on TV at 5 a.m., Boone had a sizzling temperature of 35. They're down to 23 now, and of course we're down to 39 here in the immediate Triad. The Arctic front hasn't quite yet moved through the Metro Triad, but it will be really over the next hour and a half as that cold air continues to work in. Now take a look at these feel-like temperatures, or what we know as the wind chill. Now there is a bit of a wind chill, a little bit of a breeze out ahead of the front. It feels like 28 here in the Triad. That's cold enough for my blood. But go on the other side of the Blue Ridge into the core of the Arctic air, where Buffalo, New York feels like 0, 12 below 0 in Cincinnati. Chicago, it feels like 17 below 0. And Minneapolis, boy, has been frigid. They were frigid yesterday and frigid again today. Their current feel-like temperature is 21 below 0. Forecast lows tonight, it is going to be a frosty one. Dress in those layers tomorrow morning as you head out to walk the dog, and then you head out to go to work tomorrow morning. You are going to really need to bundle up. Have a hat. Have your mittens or your gloves, have a scarf, and I'm probably going to wear a pretty thick sweater under the biggest coat, the thickest coat that I own, because temperatures overnight will drop into the low and mid-teens, forecasting a low here locally in the immediate Triad around 14 degrees, and it has been quite some time since we have been that cold here in our part of the Piedmont. So a very cold start to our day coming up on Monday. We'll probably only make it into the mid-30s for highs. Now, of course, the cold temperatures are only a small fraction of the bigger equation. Yeah, with the gusty winds today ahead of the front and behind the front, we could see wind gusts 30, 35 miles per hour, giving us single-digit wind chills as early as 9 o'clock this evening. And then we're going to have wind chills in the single-digit values overnight tonight and for the morning commute coming up on Monday. Now, earlier this morning when we came on the air at 5 a.m. on TV, there were no wind gusts. Of course, the winds are starting to pick up now. Most recently, a 35-mile-per-hour wind gust out at PTI, 29 in Burlington, and 31 over in Winston-Salem. But check Boone. Yeah, that Arctic air is pouring into the Blue Ridge, and most recently they had a whopping wind gust of 37 miles per hour, and that is bringing some low wind chills already to some of the mountain locations. The highest wind gusts that we have seen so far since midnight, the 35 that we've had most recently here in Greensboro, 37 in Winston-Salem, 48 the highest wind gusts that we've had up on the mountain in Boone, 25 at Wilkesboro, and a 36-mile-per-hour wind gust over at Jefferson. And these winds are going to be a tremendous factor for the rest of the day, overnight tonight, and there will even be some wind tomorrow morning, and that's the reason we expect wind chill values or feel-like temperatures to drop down into the single digits. I think easily between 0 and 5 above, especially when the wind really kicks up. Well, it's an Arctic cold front. This is where this air came from, the Arctic, the great northwest of Canada and the Arctic Circle. So this is some nasty, nasty cold air. And the leading edge of that colder air, the cold front, will be just east of our area by around 12 or 1 o'clock today. And the sprawling area of Arctic high pressure is going to be building over the eastern part of the United States over the next several days. It'll still be to our west tomorrow, so although the winds won't be as strong as what we expect today and tonight, we could easily have 15, 20, 25 mile per hour wind gust coming up on Monday. And with high temperatures only into the mid-30s, yeah, it's going to feel like it's into the teens and 20s pretty much all day on Monday, but at least we're going to see some sunshine across the area. But that sun's not going to do very much to warm up this very, very bitterly cold atmosphere that's building over the eastern part of the United States. Now, Tuesday, the high pressure will be over pretty near Huntington, West Virginia. The air mass, having been removed from the Arctic Circle, is going to start to modify or warm up a bit. And as it does, after being in the mid-30s on Monday, mid and upper 40s coming up on Tuesday. Now, Tuesday morning is going to be frosty as we drop down to right around 20. And then Wednesday and Thursday, how about some mid and upper 50s as that area of high pressure moves offshore. We get on the backside and we really start to warm up. So here's how you can stay safe in the bitter cold. Limit the amount of time, of course, you spend outdoors. Dress in layers. That's the best way to do it. The more layers, the better. And the 3 Ps, as I like to call it, check on people, pets, pipes, and we could add check on the elderly as well and make sure they are staying cozy and warm. Something to look forward to as we go into, well, later in the week and maybe right on through the 24th, maybe. We'll see if this pans out. Much of the continental United States should, based on our extended computer models, see temperatures averaging above normal for this time of year. What a nice change that will be about the Arctic air that we're about to experience. So temperatures dropping through the 30s this morning into the mid and upper 20s by around 5 o'clock. The winds will increase 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gust. It'll stay breezy overnight with a low down to 14. And again, the wind chills in the single digits overnight tonight and during most of the day coming up on Monday. Tomorrow, it'll be partly sunny, breezy, very cold. Temperature into the mid-30s, but again, even so, the wind chill is going to be a factor. Our weather impact alert goes in effect later this evening and will be with us through tomorrow morning. That will be allowed to expire. The rest of the week, we are looking forward to a nice warm-up. Look at Wednesday and Thursday, 54 on Wednesday and 59 coming up on Thursday. Stay with us here on WFMY Plus. We're going to have periodic cut-ins throughout the day and into the evening hours, and we'll keep you posted on this extremely cold Arctic air. I'm going to put it back on some rotating graphics for your enjoyment. We'll keep you updated. Stay warm and cozy and dry throughout the day and into tonight and tomorrow. Take care.